Jonathan Chandler coming to you from the Virginia School of Traditional Arts. After several months of waiting, we finally got our shipment of fly presses in, and we're going to go over what they look like when they first come in, what they were shipped in, who shipped them to us, and then we're probably going to have a series of videos of us restoring these and then putting them up for sale. We have several varieties of them and a couple of makers, but we'll show you all of the different parts. But this is them just off the boat, set down on my shop table here, and my poor table is probably squalling because these are heavy things. Initially they came off the boat in this crate, and they were wrapped in cellophane like the clear plastic, and all three of them were sitting down in here. They had the handles nicely strapped to the side. Everything was excellently packed. I have no issue with them packing it. This crate is very nice, and I'm probably going to save this crate and make a table out of it for the biggest one. And it's heavy duty and it's welded. The crate really impressed my father. My father had no idea what the fly presses were, but he was very impressed with the crate. These are the balls that go on the handles that'll go up on the top. And this is your weights that make the fly press work. And as far as I remember him telling me, I think some of these are new. I mean, they were manufactured somewhere other than England, but they're replacements. At least two of them, I think, is what he told me. They coated this thing really good in grease. And as I'll show you the top of it. Here we go. The top of this thing is really coated in grease. The screw, all of this part, and the I guess base of it is coated in grease. The base here is coated all in grease, and so that's the first step. We're going to remove the grease. They did that so that it wouldn't rust in the, on transport across the ocean. This thing came across in a container and across the Atlantic Ocean. Took about a month to travel from England to the U.S. I brought these in through Norfolk, Virginia. Here are the handles. This is what makes the fly press work. And there's three handles because we have three fly presses. One so you can see. This is what it looks like. This is the part you hold. This goes on the top of the fly press, and then each one of these corners here, the points there, hold a ball. And they're relatively heavy all amongst themselves. Let's talk about international shipping. My experience. First time I ever did this. Had no idea what to expect. And the gentleman in England that I dealt with was very nice about this. And I'll be brutally honest, some of the information he told me was not so. So I'm going to tell you what my experience was. Initially, they quoted me a price to deliver these to my home at $1,400 from England. And I'll be honest with you, I should have stuck with that. They also quoted me a price if I picked them up at the port of about $700. Now all of this was in euros, and you had to calculate and all that stuff, or not euros, in pounds. And you had to calculate, but virtually it was half as much if I went to the port and got it. That was what my initial quotes were. Okay, I go to pay for this thing, and I say, well, I want to save myself the $700. I'll just ride the 3 hours to Norfolk. When I changed from them delivering it to my home for the $1,400, I was expecting to save the $700. Well, when it came time to pay, I paid using PayPal, and I assumed the gentleman tacked on some money because PayPal, gets a percentage or whatever. It ended up, the difference between delivering it to my home and me picking it up at the port was $300. which I didn't say a whole lot about. That was my choice, and I said, well, okay, well, I'll go with that. And anyhow, so they got them on the boat, and they sent me pictures of the crate and the pieces, and they did a very good job of showing you what you were going to get. I appreciated that, showing you that they worked. They had them spinning and everything. About a week or so after they told me they shipped, then they came to me and they said, well, you've got to do some things on your end. And I actually missed the first email, so we were kind of in a little rush to get the things that I needed to do. Since I wasn't getting it picked up and delivered to my home, I had to do all these other things. Well, that really wasn't told to me at the get, so I'm telling it to y'all. So just bear with me for a minute. So the first thing was I had to have a customs attorney. And the customs attorney required me to give them power of attorney to deal with customs, which I was not familiar with and sounded very suspect. I'm a suspect kind of guy. And so I looked that up, and it's actually a thing, and it's not a power of attorney for your whole, net worth or whatever. It's just for customs. I was hesitant, but I went ahead and gave them my information. The first step was I had to pay nearly $700. I mean, just $2 or $3 less than $700 to cover the attorney, the bonds, the duty, the taxes. It was like a whole long list of stuff. And I said, well, I guess that ain't terrible. I'll let that go. And anyhow, so we went on. The shipment actually got here on the U.S. and was at the port. And then they sent me another email, said, have you paid the forwarder? The forwarder. Now, I don't know exactly what the forwarder is, but I know how the shipping works down in Norfolk. I grew up close to there. The big ships come in, they have the containers on them, they unload the containers onto a semi-truck, and then that semi-truck takes it either to its final destination or to a warehouse to be unloaded. So I assume the forwarder is that trucking company that gets the actual big, huge container and takes it to the warehouse. Well, that charge was just over $300, like $314, something like that. And I said, oh man, okay, I got the forwarder paid. Now we're up to $1,000, Instead of me saving money, it's costing me money. And so I said, okay. And so next day or so, they sent me another email where you have to pay the warehouse to pick it up, to store it and pick it up. Another $300, like $309 or $18 or something like that. And so grand total on the shipment to what I was charged with the PayPal, I assume PayPal fees and the shipping all together, in addition to the cost of the actual items, was $2,400, which was much more than I was initially quoted at $1,400 delivered to the house. I should have stayed with that. If you're going to deal with this, get them to deliver it to your house, get it in writing, keep them to it. And that should be, hopefully them people will have to deal with all those other things. If you're going to pick it up at the port, though, these port folks kind of got you over a barrel, and they know it. You've already purchased this item, and they can charge you anything they want to for you to come get it, and over again. And none of these people took credit cards. These people took like bank transfers and not even PayPal or nothing like that. They had some kind of pay cargo. Now that one, I think you could use your credit card as your source of money, but they charged you a fees and all kind of crap. It was just fee after fee after fee. But the grand total from shipping and fees, and like I said, I use PayPal. I like to have a little something between me and the other person. Particularly internationally, I would have rather used a credit card, because if it doesn't, you kind of taking their word that they're going to ship it. And these gentlemen that I'm going to list in the credits down here below the thing in the comments. They are wonderful. They worked with me. I worked the fool out of them on this stuff because I had lots of questions. I had no idea about any of this stuff, and some of it seemed to be new to them too. So, and they said that some of these charges seemed to be gouging me, which I don't have no doubt that they were. But once you've signed up into this, don't be surprised that you keep getting extra charges. Seemed like everybody that looked at it was at least $300. But I ended up spending $2,400 in shipping these 3 items from England. And they're heavy. Grand total on with the crate and everything, I think, was like 1,800 pounds. So I guess it's not crazy money, but that's pretty crazy money. I guess, you know, over $1 a pound to ship it from England probably isn't crazy, but it seemed to be excessive to me, especially the last few charges seemed just to be gouging me. But overall, fairly satisfied with this gentleman's work and everything. I mean, he has no control over the shipping. But if I was going to buy from him, I would get him to ship it to your house and be set up some kind of document that this is the cost and I'm not paying no more, so that they get their ducks in a row with the shippers. And that may have went much smoother. That was, you know, I didn't choose to do that because I was fairly close to the port. I have not put the handles on to check the screws and all that stuff. I assume that's going to work, but we're gonna give you several videos of us cleaning these up and putting them together and checking them out. Please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment, question. I'll try to answer what I can. And I'll leave the information below on who I bought these from, their website. Like I said, good people to deal with. See you on the next one.